In this section, you will learn about tensors. In this video, we'll provide a brief overview of what you will learn. We'll talk about tensors in 1 dimension and 2 dimensions, talk about derivatives, and we'll talk about the dataset class. A neural network is a function. The following image is used to represent the neural network. In PyTorch, neural networks are composed of PyTorch tensors. We have the input tensor x, the output tensor y. The network will be composed of a set of parameters. These are also tensors. A neural network is comprised of a series of tensor operations. Many of these tensor operations are generalizations of familiar operations like multiplication and addition. In this course, we will focus on tensor operations that are essentially vector and matrix operations. You will convert your data into a tensor and input it to the neural network. For example, consider the database. Each tensor is one row of the database. We can input the tensor into the neural network. In this case, the tensor is simply a vector or a rectangular array. Like arrays, the tensors can be of different data types, like doubles or integers. You can convert an image to a rectangular tensor. In this example, we convert an image to a tensor. In this case, it is simply a matrix or rectangular array. The neural network will automatically classify the image. In this case, the output, y, will equal 0. It's not difficult to convert PyTorch tensors to NumPy arrays and convert them back. This gives PyTorch the ability to work within the Python ecosystem and use all the important libraries. Parameters are a kind of tensor that will allow you to calculate the gradient or derivatives that will allow you to train the neural network. We will do this by setting the parameter requires grad equal to true. Finally, we will also review the dataset class. This makes it much easier to work with large amounts of data. You may not be able to process all the data at once. For example, you may have the following database, and you may not be able to load all the data at once, so you only specify a few samples. You can create a dataset object and load a few samples at a time. So let's get started on the first chapter.